Good evening, Washington Eagles. Miss Sayla here. I'm back with book 2 from Sweet Pea and Friends. This is called A Farm for Maisie. If you weren't with us last night, I'll quickly tell you the animals in this story that are photographed are real animals at a real farm in Vermont. And the author illustrators, John and Jennifer Churchman, own this farm, and they take photographs of their farm animals to use in their illustrations. So I guess it's basically a true story. A Farm for Maisie. Aww. A Farm for Maisie. Maisie Grace looked out at the swirling snow. Today she would be going to her new home, a farm and a family of her very own. At Moonrise Farm, all the animals were so excited to meet the new puppy. Sweet Pea stuck her head out of the barn window. "She's here! I can see her!" she cried joyfully. Farmer John introduced little Maisie, and Laddie greeted the black and white puppy with a curious sniff. "Laddie," Farmer John said, "you will be responsible for showing her around the farm." Laddie felt proud the farmer trusted him so much. Maisie cautiously reached out and touched Sweet Pea's nose. She had never met a sheep before. "We're so happy you're here," Sweet Pea said with a smile. Maisie was glad to have a new friend. Siri and Quinn, the farmhouse dogs, suggested Maisie come on their morning run. "Call to Laddie if you can't keep up," Sweet Pea told her as the dogs took off for the woods. "I can do it," barked Maisie. Maisie ran as fast as her little legs would go, but she could not keep up with Laddie and the older dogs. She soon grew tired. Her paws were wet and cold. She sat on the side of the trail with her lip trembling. She wanted to go everywhere the big dogs went. Then she saw Laddie bounding through the snow. He was coming back for her. Maisie breathed a sigh of relief. "Don't worry," said Laddie. "I'll ask Farmer John to give you a ride." Farmer John picked up Maisie and held her close. "Would you like to help with farm chores, little one?" Maisie felt much better. Everyone on the farm had a special job. Laddie explained this. First, they would visit the paddock to feed Sadie the pony. "What is Sadie's job?" Maisie asked. "Well, Sadie pulls supplies in her pony cart from here to there and back again, helping Farmer John," said Laddie. Maisie wasn't sure she could pull a cart, but she wanted to have a job too. Next, they stopped to feed the sheep. Maisie saw her new friend Sweet Pea standing nearby smiling. "Do the sheep have jobs on the farm?" Maisie asked Laddie. "Of course," he said. "Sweet Pea and all the sheep keep the farm fields healthy by eating the grass. And they have soft wool, which is spun into beautiful yarn to make blankets, hats, mittens, sweaters, even toys." Oh, being able to make warm and wonderful things sounded magical to Maisie. She wanted to do something just as special. Next, they headed to the hen house to feed grain to the chickens, ducks, and turkeys. They all lay eggs. said Laddie. Some eggs are sold at the market, and some are used in the farmhouse for cooking. Maisie was sure she could not lay an egg. As she admired all the pretty colors, she wondered what she would be able to do. What was all that noise? Maisie saw the geese flapping their wings and honking loudly. They were making quite a racket. What was going on? Well, the geese guard the chickens, ducks, and turkeys from the forest fox, who likes to eat their eggs, said Laddie. Oh, said Maisie seriously. That sounded like a very important job. She liked the idea of guarding and protecting. Maybe she could help the geese. It was almost time for dinner. With all the chores done, Maisie and Laddie headed back to the farmhouse. While Farmer Jennifer gave her a bath, Maisie was lost in thought. What would her farm job be? As she and little Finn, the lamb, nibbled their dinner in the warm farmhouse kitchen, she wondered some more. What will her job be? As she settled by the fireplace, Maisie thought back on her day. The sheep have wool for yarn and keep the pasture beautiful, she remembered. The chickens, ducks, and turkeys lay eggs, and the geese protect them from the fox. Sadie the pony pulls the cart. I can't do any of those things. Maisie began to worry. This was her new home and she wanted to belong. Laddie, will I have a job someday? Oh, yes, Laddie said kindly. We are sheepdogs, Maisie. Soon you will have one of the most important jobs of all. As winter turned to spring, Maisie watched how Laddie took care of the sheep. He herded them to the pasture in the morning and brought them back to the warm barn at night. He helped Farmer John separate them into pens for shearing, hoof clipping, and checkups. Laddie made sure the sheep were always safe and let Farmer John know if something was wrong. He took his job of guiding and protecting his flock very seriously, and he was a wonderful teacher to Maisie. The more Maisie learned about being a sheepdog, the more she loved it. While in the barn late one afternoon, Maisie heard a strange sound. Her ears perked up, and the tip of her tail began to tingle. It sounded like a lamb crying. Maisie found the youngest lamb, Atticus, with his hoof stuck in the hay feeder. He was alone and scared. Don't worry, Atticus, I'll get help. She reassured him and ran as fast as she could to get Farmer John. Farmer John gently lifted Atticus from the feeder. Well done, Maisie, he said. I think you're ready for a flock of your own. A flock of my own? Maisie beamed. Over the spring, Maisie started to care for her 4 little lambs, Atticus, Hazel, Meadow, and Finn, all by herself. She loved being a sheepdog. To her, it was the best job of all. Each night, as Maisie snuggled into bed, she felt thankful. She had a farm and a family, new friends, and an important job of her very own. She fell asleep happily, dreaming of her little lambs and counting them. 1, 2, 3. Oh, good night, Maisie Grace. The end. Lovely farm story from Moonrise Farms. You can go to sweetpeafriends.com, just like this, sweetpeafriends.com, and check out all the things Moonrise Farms has to share with kids. There's some live cams. Okay, have a great night, guys and gals, and I will see you tomorrow with book 3 from the Sweet Pea and Friends series. Love you guys.